All right. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing well. It is, I don't know, whatever time it is. And it's like 11:30 or something like that on the East Coast. So yeah, baseball, baby, baseball. So we have two games now. We have three games available in the Ned McGreevy Discord. You got to be a member of the Discord. Doesn't cost you anything, and you'll find this under other baseball games, along with Pearson Baseball and Strategy Baseball. So this one is a link that you'll just click on to get this game. This is old time baseball put up by Stormfront Studios. So back before EA was completely an evil empire and swallowed up this awesome studio. So what is this? So I've featured this in the channel a couple times before, but I don't remember ever making it available. So, and if I did, it's available again. And it's really worth it. I think this is an important piece of baseball history. This came out around the same time as version 3.0 of APA Baseball, APA PC Baseball Broadcast Blast with Ernie Harwell. So this featured real announcers. In this case, Mel Allen, Kurt Gowdy. In many ways, as I've said before, I think this is the great grandfather, if you will, to MLB The Show, really, and also Out of the Park Baseball, really. I think that both MLB The Show and Out of the Park can both trace their kind of lineage back to old time baseball. This was primarily programmed by Don Daglow. Clay Dreslov, of course, he of season ticket baseball and baseball mogul fame. Had a part in the development of this game as well. It's a very, very, very good game. So its MLB The Show roots really come with the fact that you could play this like an arcade game, but even back in the day in 1995, it was a bit jank as far as the animation goes. But it's also a baseball, pardon me, baseball management sim that is surprisingly deep for its time. This actually began life not as its own product, but as an expansion disc to Tony La Russa Baseball 3, very, very popular franchise, which of course just included one season. So Stormfront Studio decided to create what we now call a DLC, and these are these discs, the discs that you could purchase in addition to add to Tony La Russa Baseball. That had every baseball season. Hey, Corey, great to see you. Corey Highfield joining us here. Had every season from 1871 to 1981 were proved so popular that Stormfront Studios decided to actually release this as a standalone game. And it does a lot. It really, really does a lot. This is the first game that I know of that had a really neat sort of normalization feature that we'll talk about. It's called the Baseball Time Machine. And again, every season in baseball from 1871 to 1981, there was an additional disc that you could get. They were called, so leagues in this are called universes. And it had everything from then 1982 to, I believe, 1991 or 92. So I do have those, but to use those, you'd have to mount them on like a virtual drive and stuff like that. And I figure anybody that's going to buy this, you're probably not going to be playing any baseball, in the, late 1980s with this thing or anything like that. This is really geared toward baseball. And it does it pretty well. And it does a lot, as I said, and we'll get into it. We're going to talk about some of the challenges with this game and ways to work around some of those things. So yeah, let's get into it. There's not an AI in this game to speak of as there is as far as the announcers go, as there is in Baseball for Windows. So that is really the first, with a reactive crowd and with an announcer like Ernie Harwell. So this isn't at that level, but it's the only game, it's a full motion game like this before MLB The Show or any games like that, right? This was really the first one to offer both on-field action and at least announcing. And as I said, you can choose between Mel Allen or Kurt Gowdy, whichever one. I would suggest um, probably selecting Mel Allen because he did say more of the names and what we would think of as Total Baseball now or Baseball Encyclopedia, whichever one of those ones. But unlike Ernie Harwell, neither Mel Allen nor Kurt Gowdy did every name in baseball, first name, last name, which Ernie Harwell did. So this is different, but it's also very, very, very cool. This is available for free if you're a member of the Ned McGreevy Discord. You will find this in the other baseball games channel part of the Discord. So it's there. Go download it, man. You can also play this game on the Internet Archive, but I think it's a lot more fun to have your own because then you can create your own leagues and stuff like that. So in addition to being able to play replay any season from 1871 to 1981, and this does include all the leagues in the 19th century. So the Union Association is in here, the National Association, of course, the National League, the American Association, the Players League, and then this also has the Federal League 1914, 1915. Goes beyond that, though. Comes with some 16, really, even for today, beautiful ballparks. I've seen a lot of gamers use the ballparks in here, and a lot of people, in fact, you'll see some of these ballparks even used, people have used these in baseball for windows and other games, and comment, wow, those are really beautiful parks. And I say, yeah, it's from a 1995 game. They're pretty blown away. So an architectural firm, Osborne and Associates, were able to source the actual blueprints for 16 of the old ballparks and recreate them in a kind of, it's not 3D, but it looks it. Really, really good, actually. So, but what can you do here in this game? Well, you can really, really do a lot. One of the things that's really cool is you can do a fantasy draft. So fantasy drafts here, here's your whole setup for the draft, your team pool, stuff like this. So if we go to a team pool, this will right now, because I have the 1906 season in here, this will draft just from 1906. You could, essentially all these players that are on these actual teams would get dumped and then just redrafted. So we're familiar with that. And, and out of the park and everything like that. You can, of course, change all these names, stuff like that. But let's go back to our main screen again. Okay, let us exit draft. And how you set up drafts depends on the baseball universe that you have loaded. Okay, so for instance, let's just go here. I'll show you some. If we go to exhibition game, okay, and I'm gonna have to load a different universe. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go back to our main menu here. Okay, and let's go to. So you see these import stadiums and stats. You could import from Tony La Russa into this game, or from this game into Tony La Russa. So you're probably not going to be using this unless you have that game too. And again, you're using this as far as using a virtual drive. Okay. But just give me a second. Here we go. Load and erase universe. So right now on hard drive, I have 1917, 1906. We have a little test thing. 1917 in all time. But if you go into CD-ROM, there you even have Negro Leagues as well. Not all the Negro Leagues, but it's like a Negro Leagues All-Stars. So there you can see there's a lot of baseball in here. A lot of baseball. And let's go back to here. So if we would go back and select all time and load it, and if we did an exhibition game right now, we could choose between any of these teams that we want, just play them against one another. But we could also, you could carry out a fantasy draft. So you can see there's, we got 1871, 1876. There's a team from 1884, 1885. There's the Players League from Boston. There's the 1895 Baltimore Orioles, the old National League, the Boston Beaneaters. There's, of course, the Boston Red Sox, as they would come to be known. But up here, we've got the 79 Pirates, the 68 Tigers, 53 Yankees, whatever. You can also create your own versions of these things in this game. So it's super, super flexible. So this is how you create it. If you wanted to do a draft, player draft or team draft or whatever, you would just load a universe in, or you can create it, right? So we can see here that you can create a baseball universe, give it its name, its league, everything, and you're going to copy. You don't leave, you just boom, start typing whatever you want. Okay, I'm just going very, very quickly because I think it's be a lot more fun for you guys to just go ahead and explore what this game can do. It's filled with all kinds of neat old baseball pictures here in a sepia tone, and of course, if you've seen the Ken Burns baseball documentary or look through any old baseball books, there's a very, very, very famous photo here of the old South End grounds. So with this really neat grandstands, a big old wooden ballpark that eventually burnt down. But yeah, so I like this guy here. There's the top hat guy, and this guy here in the sort of fedora. There's a derby, and just how at that time baseball was, even then, right? But you can see there's even a woman there. So how about that? But this game is very, very much about atmosphere, and I really like it. Even the music, which you can turn on and off. So you get this kind of sort of chill vibe going on here of take me out to the ball game. All right. Anyhow, let's go back and let's load and erase the universe. So let's do 19. I already had 1906 up here, and I'm going to load this in just to show you guys some things about getting around in this game. Okay. So if we go to utilities here, so again, you can create teams, you can edit team names, colors, stats. You can add players to teams, assign stadiums, what have you. Okay, you go to manager here. We're going to go to manager profile. This is really, really, really important. So one of the things about this game that was problematic were the infamous off-the-wall singles. So it didn't matter whether it was Ty Cobb hitting it, somebody who's really fast, or it was, somebody like, Ernie Lombardi hitting the ball, right? If it went into the gap and hit the wall, 98.8% of the time that runner was going to pull up at first. That was it. So not very, very realistic. Switch hitters in this game don't exist out of the box. You actually have to go in and edit players. So players like Max Carey, Mickey Mantle, so on, are in the game as right-handers, but all you have to do is edit the player, put an S in there, and now he's a switchy. But what I want to show you, what's important about this is the manager profile, and we'll just start here with Boston 1906. You're going to see sliders here. So this game, unlike, sorry, I'm stuttering tonight. I just decided to do this at the last minute because I've been promising this game. So the micromanagers in Baseball for Windows are programmed. They're like AI, right? Very early AI, but they were there. This is something that we would be familiar with, again, if we're playing action PC baseball, out of the park baseball, Diamond Mind, Pure Sim, whatever. And that you can just set tendencies for what the manager is going to do. And you have to do this for each team, so you can't really copy these settings. I wish you could. I wish you could copy these settings for all of the managers, but you can't. But that's okay. It doesn't take long. The most important ones that you want to do. So I wouldn't worry about speed or power. Okay, I set this for speed because I'm playing in the dead ball era. But what you're going to do here is always, 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 no matter what year you're playing in, or even in you do a draft league, a what if league, or whatever. Down here in the setting, push it and play it safe. Always do push it, slide it all the way to the right. So base runners tend to take chances or be more conservative and respond to a batted ball. So what you want, no matter, I don't care if you're playing 1979 or 1879, have this all the way at 100%, and this mitigates the off-the-wall singles. Again, other things you can season to taste. The other thing is be patient. with the game, because it's already configured for you to play, so you don't have to mess with DOSBox. But you can see here, this scrolls really fast, but you'll still be able to get everything. But these are the settings that I use for Dead Ball Era. So obviously there's a lot of stolen bases, things like that. But this one is super, super, super important. Now, you could raise the pitch out or throw strikes. I kind of leave the pitcher stuff pretty much alone. Squeeze plays were higher then. But most of the rest of these, I think you just leave alone. But you got to make sure to push it all the way up. Okay? But you can see here, you've got quite a bit that you can do when determining what you want to create teams. And it goes beyond that as well. All right? So again, if you're playing in Dead Ball Era, you probably want to crank endurance up, right? This isn't sissy 2025 baseball. But even when you're playing in the 70s, I would still, like in the 1970s, I would still put this endurance up toward this way. So do pay attention, because it feels counterintuitive at first. So for instance here, right here, favor lots of innings or dominating performance when selecting lineups. So if I slide this down, this is going to be more in favor of kind of dominant performance, but at the sacrifice of endurance. So endurance is pointing this way, ERA is pointing that way. So it's a little bit weird for about 2 seconds. So, but I just keep that cranked up. So I want 100% endurance. And that's also, leave them in, yank them. But again, now if you're playing in the 1970s, maybe you're going to kind of move this down or whatever. The other thing is, change every manager the way you want. You really have all kinds of freedom here to do what you want. Yeah, Corey, all it's going to cost you is a download. So click on it, get it. It's an exe file. All you have to do is run it, and it's already configured and everything, so you don't have to worry about configuring it. And give it a go. It's really fun. I'm going to go into a little bit more of what it can do. But remember, 1995. This is really it's still a good baseball game. So if you were playing more, not like in the 1930s, then you might want to switch it so it looks more like that, because that's definitely more of a power decade. So these settings, I think, are the best ones I found for Dead Ball Baseball so far. Okay, but what else can we do? Let's go back to our main screen. Okay. Main menu. Derek, thank you for saying this, my friend. I should have you on here. He says, this is a great game. The Time Machine, I was just going to get to that next. Absolutely. Excellent feature, and the game includes most players through 1981. Yeah, it does. So unlike Baseball for Windows, or unlike Out of the Park Baseball and an Action PC, you're getting most players, not all, but still, this is not only a great game, but I will just repeat, at least in my own opinion, this is a very, very important game in the history of baseball gaming. So, Chris, are you back in America? Well, to the United States? My understanding is that you and Professor Parks had dinner or something like that the other night. So glad you're home, buddy. Glad you are home. We will figure out the whole. I want to get over there by Pittsburgh, and we get Mr. Castro and see a ball game. Just the Pirates-Phillies thing just wasn't going to work out, I don't think. No, I'm not in Pittsburgh. I am still down near the Capitol. So, oh yeah, you can do Cross Era. So again, Corey, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead, and I don't want to do exhibition game here. Let me load a universe here. Again, yeah, all right. Do I have any save game? Let me see what I got here. Yeah. So when you load a save game, it was just a game that's in progress. So just ignore that. Okay, let's go to League, and let's load a universe. We're going to go back to all time, and let's load it. And we're going to set up a game. So we go to exhibition game, and let's just play two post-war teams here together against each other. So let's play the 1954 Giants and the 1968 Cardinals, I suppose. Now, I wanted to, just so that we could get to this. So the time machine is super, super, super cool. So you're talking about cross era. So what a way to sort of experiment. So I could take this game, and you can do this in a season too. You set this up, but right now I'm just setting this up. So we know from, again, all the baseball games that we play now, most of the digital baseball games allow you to normalize to an era and even to a specific year. This was the first game, as far as I know. Maybe Full Count Baseball might have been doing this before this game, perhaps. Derek would know better. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? But what's really cool here is it splits it up by era, as you can see, or you can normalize to a specific year. So pretty cool. So right now, this is set to 1946 to 1960. Makes sense. The game is smart enough to know where to put that. But if I wanted to, I could play these two teams in the dead ball era, and all of a sudden, that's going to, just like in games now, right? That's going to affect play. You're going to see home runs drop. You're going to see, a lot of. It's really cool. And I mean, again, I really don't want to go too deeply into this. I really want you guys to kind of jump into it yourself. So yeah, this was pretty good. And in fact, we can read this. So the time machine mathematically levels the statistical playing field between different years or eras of baseball history. For example, a hitter from the dead ball era will perform very differently if brought forward to the 1950s. Now you can simulate competition between players and teams from eras with unprecedented accuracy. And at the time, it was. So select a specific year to adjust ball players' performance standards accordingly. Selecting an era will reference average performance standards of all the years of that era. So this was big stuff, man. Well, so guys, up here, I can't right now. My mouse is kind of stuck in this box here. So if you look up there, there is Derek's review of old time baseball. And again, this is all this began life as part of the Tony La Russa 3 game, and became its own product in Stormfront Studios. Man, so this is super cool. Now, there's some things that are going to be a little bit difficult to do in this game because of modern systems and speed and stuff like that. So you can look at the stadiums, but you're going to get seasick if you try it. So do so at your own peril, and you're not going to be able to. It's too fast on modern systems. I mean, if you have an old 486 lying around or something like that, then have at it. But I wouldn't try this on, try just having this little guided tour that you can learn about the stadiums. So let's go to where is it? Oh my God! Hold on a second. Oh my God! This has been a while. It's been a minute. Oh, you can also create all-star matchups, by the way, too, in your season. Again, lots you can do. Where is the utilities here? Because there's I have to go back to the main screen to do that. Let's just play an inning or two of this. And again, check out, hey, cousin Ken Castro. So let's just play an inning here. And again, this is not like baseball for Windows. You are going to hear an announcer and everything. But where this was pioneering, and again, where the two games I mentioned, Out of the Park Baseball and MLB The Show, I think can trace their lineage back to old-time baseball. This one, I mean, Hardball, right, was around about this time as well. But Hardball was strictly an arcade game. And you had, I think, Al Michaels or whoever the hell it was that was announcing the games. But this was also a management sim. And to be able to have on-field action and announcing, this was pretty good. And that now we move forward into, of course, we had high heat baseball and all that stuff. But this was really the first game, to my knowledge, that had had a narrator and on-field action. Out of the Park Baseball doesn't even have that now. And MLB The Show, well, yeah, it does. But there you go. Al Nichols, or Al Michaels. I thought you'd know that, Aaron. So yeah, Aaron thanking Derek for his videos. Oh my God, yeah, that's a gold mine. That's a gold mine having Derek's stuff there. All right, now I haven't done any manager tendencies here or anything like that. Okay, I mean, we go to manager profile. So you're going to see some off the wall singles, but maybe we'll change that. Um, I forget which team. Which teams did we select? I don't even remember now. Oh yeah, 54 Giants. So because we have to get rid of those off the wall singles, I'm just going to make one change here, and that's to push it, play it, push it, and yeah, play it safe. If I can go down here again. Sorry, there. Okay, and then I'm going to go to a different team and do that. Okay, and I believe it was the 68 Cardinals, right? I think that's who it was. Yeah, and then just for this. Okay, and push it, play it safe. So this will mitigate that. Now there was a guy named Nick Karen who I think it was in the early 2000s or something, had his utilities. And you actually could run a season through that, and it would actually take care of all this stuff. So, but I can't find them anywhere. Another fun fact: the GM Challenge mode included an undocumented feature where women began to appear in the game after you progress into the 2040 season. And yeah, that's the other thing I always fail to mention. You can play this game past 1981. So this was also that kind of dynastic game, if you will, that we see that we see in out of the park baseball. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. All right. All right. And an exhibition game. And again, let's just do the Giants and the Cardinals. And we're just going to keep it in 1946. Again, Mel Allen says more names than Kurt Gowdy. We have modern systems. So you can see here, these were these really low resolutions for older systems. So if you had an old system, so are you ready for this? The recommended spec for this was 16 megabytes of RAM. 16 megabytes, right? That's nothing, right? But back then, if you only had an 8 megabyte system, this would keep hitting the CD-ROM. So you would have to change your graphics, but just leave it right there. Load all the animations. We'll do. Don't hit the recommended thing because it doesn't know you're running on a beast these days. Okay, so let's click done. All right, and I'm just going to have the computer play the computer. So if you do that, you don't really have to worry about input. You can manage in this game if you want. I wouldn't suggest play. That's the arcade version of it. And if you really want, and maybe I'll make it available down the line, it'll be Tony La Russa 3 and Tony La Russa 396. And I think there's a utility that allows you to use controllers and stuff like that now. But I would suggest this, just play it as a management game. Okay. If you were playing as an arcade game, you could set up auto fielding, throwing, running if you wanted, which is, a lot of people have problems with that. I know, like, even today, right, if you're playing Super Mega Baseball, you probably want to turn some of that stuff on too. You get used to the game. You could have a DH, and we could set up a DH. God help us. Yeah, we could put that on if we wanted. Where did I get the game? In a black market in Marrakesh. You didn't have permission. Okay, I'll fix that afterwards. It's because it's just a link to my Google Drive. That's all that is. It's just a link to my Google Drive. So it should be set properly. So I'll have to see what's going on. Google's a little bit whiffy. So thanks for letting me know, Chris. Other fun things, if you want to just change up the game further, if you want, ultra offense and all that kind of stuff, you can do that. You can have like strike zone music. We are going to do quick off the field. If you leave this unchecked, these guys are going to run off the field, and it's going to take forever. Hey, Sean says, just passing by. Game looks amazing. Thank you for sharing. Have a great weekend. So check back. If the link doesn't work for you, it should work in a day or so. I've just got to go back in and set the permissions properly. Because I didn't really feel like upping the money this month for Discord just to upload one game. So But if I have to, I'll do it that way. You guys will get the game. All right, so it looks like we're ready to go. We can play this in any stadium, so we don't have to play in the Polo Grounds, but we're just going to play a little game. All right, here we go. There's your lineups and everything. So it's going to be Bob Gibson versus Sal Magli. That'd be a pretty good lineup, I would say. So batting order for the St. Louis Cardinals: Julian Javier, Del Maxville, Roger Maris, Lou Brock, Mike Shannon, Kurt Flood, Tim McCarver, Orlando Cepeda, Bob Gibson. For the New York Giants: Hank Thompson, Wes Westrom, Willie Mays, Dusty Rhodes, Don Mueller, Alvin Dark, Whitey Lockman, Davey Williams, and Sal Magli. You can also set your lineups if you want, and why wouldn't you? So you could. All right. Brock should be at the top of the order, so we could change all that around. Why he's batting cleanup, I have no idea. One never knows. One never knows what's going on here. Let me do batting order here. See if I remember how to do this. Yeah, there we go. So Javier should not be there either. Let me see. Cepeda, we're going to put Cepeda up there. We'll leave Maris in the 3 spot. Again, we're just going to play just a little exhibition game. Set this up for the other team here too. Let's look at New York's batting order. This looks okay. We'll leave it alone. Okay, and let's click done. And let's just play ball.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Sportsman's Park in beautiful St. Louis.
Oh, we're playing St. Louis, sorry.
We'll see New York play St. Louis in this exhibition. The weather today is frigid and foggy, with a humidity reading of 50%. The wind is blowing in from left to right at about 10 miles per hour. Even during batting practice here before the game, you could see the hitters taking aim at that tantalizing short fence in right field. I'm Mel Allen, and I'm here to bring you all the action. And now starting.
So, yeah, Chris, I'll have to look into that. I will get it fixed. All right? Patience, my friend. I definitely will. I didn't realize it was doing that. So, I'll get it fixed. I've never seen. That's weird. So you tried it, and there shouldn't be any drive that you have to access. So I'll look into it and troubleshoot. All right? All right. So Mel Allen took this very, very, very seriously. Recorded this, asked for retakes. There's a whole big story about this. This was also back in the days when you had nice big manuals. In fact, when you bought this game too, it was in one of those bigger boxes. And you opened it, and there was a built-in music box that played "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." So let's go ahead and do this. Everybody has number 11. They're kind of modern baseball uniforms because, again, this is the adaptation, or this was an expansion originally for Tony La Russa Baseball 3. Check out Derek's review. And here we go, Little Baseball.
Called strike 3, the first out of the inning.
I love that there's umpires in the game,
for the
at least one.
Today. Coming up next is Wes Westrom, hitting 187. Here comes the pitch. A high fly ball going out to left field. Caught by Brock. 2 down. Coming up next is Willie Mays, hitting 345. A line drive to center field. Caught by Flood. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Middle of the first inning. It's 0-0. Leading off the inning, Lou Brock, hitting 279.
Now, I just noticed in the screen that I'm monitoring that you guys are actually seeing. You see a mouse cursor in the middle of the screen. That's just an artifact of StreamYard. When you're playing the game, what you'll see is that the home plate cursor there. You won't see that screen in the middle. It's just, for some reason, this game doesn't like to play with StreamYard very well, or OBS. All right. Most of you guys aren't doing this stuff anyhow, broadcasting, so. I like the newspaper thing. It looks cool.
There's a high pop-up. The catcher. Caught by Westrom. The first out of the inning. Next batter, Dal Maxfield, hitting .253. Grounded right back to the pitcher. Got him. Out number 2. Up next, Roger Maris, hitting .255. The payoff pitch. Strike 3. He struck him out, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. After 1, it's 0-0. Leading off the inning, Dusty Rhodes, batting .341. Here comes the pitch. Fly ball to center field. And he makes the catch. That's 1 down. Up next, Don Mueller, batting .342. A line drive to right field. And a short hop by Maris. Base hit for Mueller. Next batter, the shortstop, batting .293.
So you just heard there, again, as I said, unlike Ernie Harwell, so Mel Allen and Kurt Gowdy didn't pronounce all the names here. So so now we hear that in MLB, the show, and it's because these players licensing their names and all that gobshite. But back then it was just that they just didn't say all the names. So, something that I guess MLB The Show caught on to. Oh, so didn't use the name Alvin Dark, just called him the shortstop. But still don't think it breaks the immersion. The only thing would probably be the modern uniforms. But I mean, the ballpark's beautiful. It really is. And I find so many people say, "Wow, this looks amazing." And I say, "Yeah, it's a 1995 game. How about that?" Don Daglow said if he could get the funding, he would always want to do a sequel to this. Wish that would happen, but never will.
The throw to second base. He slides in under the tag. That's a stolen base for Mueller. Fly ball to center field. Caught by Flood. Out number 2. Now that brings up the first baseman, batting .251. A liner to third. A diving catch by Shannon. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. That's 1.5 innings gone. No score. And now starting off the inning is Orlando Cepeda, batting .248.
Yep, good point, Aaron.
There's a high pop-up, the catcher. Caught by Westrom. 1 down. Coming up next is Mike Shannon, hitting .266. Here comes the pitch. There's a high pop-up, the catcher. And he makes the catch. That's 2 away. Now coming up, Kurt Flood, batting .301.
Same to you, H. Field, man, and just loving the stuff that you've been doing and everything, and hope you're doing great. Yeah, man. Doing fine. Play another inning. So if you guys are having fun, we'll just let it play for a little while. But I really encourage you, after I get the issue fixed with it,
the payoff pitch.
Download it. Experiment with it. It's fun.
Strike 3. He struck him out. That ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down. And
sleep well, 2, Chris.
No score. Leading off the inning, Davey Williams, hitting 222. A high fly ball going out down the left field line. Going, it's gone.
So here you see there's no, even though it's in St. Louis, sometimes you'll get a crowd cheering for a home run or whatever, but there's not a reactive crowd in here. It's just a loop. But this game did so much and still does so many things very well.
That's a solo shot to Williams, and it's 1-0. That brings up Sal McGreevy, hitting 127. The payoff pitch. A line drive to center field, and he makes the catch. That's 1 down. That brings up Hank Thompson. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout. A line drive to the shortstop, and he drops it. Now batting Wes Westrom. He's 0-for-1 in this game. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. He struck him out. Out number 2. Now that brings up Willie Mays. He's 0-for-1 in this game. Here comes the pitch.
Yeah,
Fly
pretty
ball
coherent.
to center field. Caught by Plug. That ends the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 2.5 innings, and it's 1-0. Leading off, Tim McGreevy, hitting 253.
So yeah, I was able to catch that. That was super cool, guys. So check out that link that Derek has kindly put into the chat. I would highlight it here, but you guys can see it. It says here's a link to our Sabre virtual meeting with Don Daglow. He talks about old-time baseball, specifically Mel Allen's voiceover work and the Time Machine. And I do believe that's the one, the interview, Derek, where Don Daglow said, it would be, that if could have gotten the funding, he would have done a sequel. Could you imagine? Don Daglow, just watch the whole thing. Don Daglow this guy is a titan when it comes to baseball gaming and just gaming in general. This guy was really, I shouldn't talk about in the past tense. This guy's one of the pioneers, one of the real movers and shakers in gaming history. Not just baseball gaming either. It's a great interview. So yeah. Jill said just pick up the Sunday's Classic Teams Collection for Action PC. Having a nice sale, pick that up for free with your sale purchase of 2000's Decade Hockey. Nice. There you go. And that 70s, those classic collections in Action PC Baseball are a lot of fun. Good stuff. Dave always has sales, man. So you can hear a little bit of looping in the sample, but all good.
A hot grounder through the hole on the left side. Base hit for McGreevy. Coming up next is the second baseman, hitting 260.
So something that is really cool to see in a kind of managing sim is just that, right? So out of the park baseball doesn't have to worry about that announcing. So that play-by-play, if you notice, one of the things in out of the park baseball is to try to sync up the text play-by-play with what's going on in the field. And I've shown in the past how to do that. But here you have it where Mel Allen calls it, this one right through the hole in the left side. And again, I know I'm going to keep saying this, but this is a game from 1995, 94, 95, right? So it's pretty significant stuff. And you guys can get it for free as soon as I fix the link.
The runner goes. Grounded to second. That dribbler goes through the right side for a base hit. Got him!
Oh.
Now coming up, Bob Gibson hitting 170. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. He struck him out. 2 down. That's his 3rd strikeout today. Coming up to bat, Lou Brock. He's nothing for 1 today.
Pretty much
the
everybody.
Runner goes.
Oh, hang on.
A hot grounder up the middle for a base hit. It's a bouncer right through the infield. A single for Brock. Now batting Dal Maxfield. He's nothing for 1 in this game.
So, curbside pickup. This has every season in baseball from 1871 to 1981. Stan Musial's not in this particular game because this is the 1968 Cardinals. But yep, Musial's in here. Wagner, Waddell, Walter Johnson, Tom Seaver. So all the important. It has most players from 1871 to 1981. Includes all those leagues, those other leagues that challenge the National League. Has the National Association, of course, but then National League, American Association, Players League, Union Association. Then it also has the Federal League 1914, 1915. You can create whatever you want in this game within the years of 1871 to 1981. You can edit players. You can create players. So it's a really, really full-featured game. And here's something. I don't want to move the mouse, but if you guys hear at the top of the screen, that you don't see in any baseball games anymore because you don't even see them, right? Is showing the runners on the bases. What a nice touch. And you'll see they'll actually start to inch off, toward the base and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty good. Yeah, you're welcome, curbside pickup, and welcome into the family. And H-Field says, okay, so it's going to be in the Ned McGreevy Discord. I have a link to it, but Chris Slovic is reporting it's talking about access to a drive when he runs the game. So I have to adjust the permissions on it. So I will do that after this game. So it's in our Ned McGreevy Discord, and you'll find it under other baseball games. And that's also where you'll find Pure Sim Baseball and Strategy Baseball. And in the coming weeks, I'm also going to put up Tony La Russa Baseball 3 and Tony La Russa Baseball 96 version. So get a few more baseball games up there for you guys to try. These are already configured for DOSBox. So have at it. Have fun.
To the shortstop, and he's out at second. That retires the side. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left stranded. At the end of 3, and it's 1-0. Leading off, Dusty Rhodes. He's nothing for 1 today.
Now, there's another way you can get this game if you want. And I'll put it in the chat after this game or whatever. But it's old-games.com. You spend $11, you get 30 days, and I've never had any trouble with it. In fact, I know they're legit because they got a PayPal account. Never any trouble, no viruses, anything like that. You're basically paying the guy for server, hosting stuff in the server. There are literally tens of thousands of games in all kinds of genres that you can imagine there. So pony up $11, you can get this and about 30 other baseball games too. So I'll put that link in the chat here when we're done. In case somebody you just want to go grab it, or you spend $5.95 and for 24 hours download what you want on there. I think the $11 is nicer once you see that site, and I'll show you at the end of this how big it is. But we've hardly scratched the surface of old-time baseball, so I do encourage you guys to check out Derek Bain's review on Hardball Retro, right? Which is a great site anyhow. If you're a baseball gamer, you should be on Derek's site all the time and buying his books. So putting another link, Don Daglow was our guest speaker at Sabre 52. That would have been something to go to. Had the privilege to speak with Don on several occasions during the connection. Sorry, guys, I can't turn down the sound on this. Great game designer, great guy. So there you go. 2 links. All right. All right, let's continue this.
Fly ball to center field.
Uh-oh.
Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. Pulls into second base with 2 bases. Coming up to bat, Don Mueller. He's 1 for 1 with a single and with a stolen base.
See, I hate to keep cutting in, but I'm glad this happened. So you saw there, that one went to the wall. If I wouldn't have changed that setting in the manager profile to push it, 9 times out of 10, that runner stops at first, even though a ball hit in the gap or hit deep like that. So no matter what year you're playing in, definitely push it up to 100%. That really helps a lot. One of the other issues with this game is that outfielders' arms would sometimes tend to be a little bit stronger. So Nick Caron's utilities, what that would do, which I wish I could find because I would configure that for DOSBox and make that available as a download. You could run a season through the utilities and it would actually adjust everybody's ratings properly. But I've found that just by that one setting, that really helps a lot. We did see an outfield assist, but they happen in baseball, right?
There's a hot smash to center field. Base hit for Mueller. That brings up the shortstop. He's nothing for 1 today.
Oh, you bet, Derek. Happy to do so.
A line drive to center field. And he drops it. That drives in a run. The score is 2-0. Coming up next is the first baseman. He's nothing for 1 today. Here comes the pitch. Caught by McGreevy. That's 1 down. A bunt, the catcher. That brings up Davey Williams. He's 1 for 1 with 1 run batted in and for the homer. The runner goes a liner to the shortstop. That's a base hit for Williams. Now batting Sal Magli. He's nothing for 1 in this game. Here comes the pitch. A liner to right field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. And the throw to first. Here comes the throw to the plate. A 2-bagger for Magli. 2 runs scored. The score is 4-0. Coming up to bat, Hank Thompson. He's nothing for 2 with a strikeout. That's an intentional walk. Now coming up, Wes Westrom. He's nothing for 2 with a strikeout. Called strike 3. That's 2 away. Now coming up, Willie Mays. He's nothing for 2 today. A hot grounder. The throw to second base, and he's out at second. That ends the inning. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and they leave them loaded. 3.5 down. The score is 4-0.
Pardon me.
And now starting off the inning is Roger Maris. He's nothing for 1 with a strikeout. A line drive to deep right field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. That's a base hit for Maris. Coming up next is Orlando Cepeda. He's 0-for-1 in this game. The runner goes. The throw to second base. Got him! A looping drive to right field. Coming up to bat, Mike Shannon. He's 0-for-1 today.
Yeah, busted, Aaron, right?
A high fly ball going out to right field. Caught by Williams. And now 2 outs. Coming up next is Kurt Flood. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout. A high fly ball going out to right field. Going, it's gone. A 2-run blast for Flood. Up next, Tim McCarver. He's 1-for-1 with a single. A looping drive to right field. He makes a leaping catch. That ends the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Top of the 5th. Leading off, Dusty Rhodes. He's 1-for-2 with 1 run scored and with a double. A liner to the shortstop. Got him. 1 out now.
I like the umpire
Next
up there,
batter,
too. That's
Don
cool.
Mueller. He's 2-for-2 with 2 singles and with a stolen base. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to the shortstop. Fielded by the second baseman. Got him. Now batting the shortstop. He's 0-for-2 with 1 run scored. A liner to the shortstop. And a short hop by Maxville. Got him. That's the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. In the middle of the 5th. Leading off, the second baseman. He's 1-for-1 with a single. The payoff pitch. Strike 3. He struck him out. 1 down. Coming up next is Bob Gibson. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout.
You can also play this game in pitch-by-pitch mode, if you like. So I'm just adding little things in here when I can. Things that you can do here during the game. So let's have a look. We can look at just defensive positionings in case there was any. And here, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but boy, doesn't this look like Minor League Baseball? That's pretty cool. But we can look at our line score here right now. It keeps a box score. Okay. Then you also have replay. And so you can even whatever with your move using your number pad and stuff like that. You can get a little replay action. Okay. So, and now if I can remember how the hell to get out of it, that would be nice. Is it 2? There we go. Then just hit the enter key. I forgot about the replay function. How cool is that?
The payoff pitch.
Wasn't much to replay there, but.
A liner to first. He takes it to the bag himself. Out number 2. Next batter, Lou Brock. He's 1 for 2 with the single. Here comes the pitch. Grounded. Got him, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. 5 innings gone. Leading off the inning, the first baseman. He's nothing for 2 in this game. A high chopper to second, and the throw to first. Got him! Coming up to bat, Davey Williams. He's had a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with a single and with a homer. Here comes the pitch. There's a high pop-up to second. Caught by the second baseman, 2 down. Coming up to bat, Sal Magri. He's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in and with a double. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 3, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. That's the 4th K the pitch has earned today. 3 up, 3 down. We played 5.5. Hitting for Lloyd Wicker, a utility infielder, hitting .500. A looping drive to right field. Caught by Williams. 1 out now. Now coming up, Roger Maris. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and with a single. There's a high pop-up to the shortstop. Caught by Williams. That's 2 away. Hitting for Ted Simmons, a slap hitter. Hitting .333. Here comes the pitch. A line drive to left field, and he makes the catch. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. That's 6 in the books. Leading off, Hank Thompson. He's nothing for 2 with a strikeout and with a walk.
So if you're playing a game, also, you can change. So right now it's showing their season stats. But if you're playing through a game, playing through a season, you can change the display, the little rip newspaper there. You can see nice little touch, old-timey box scores that nobody sees anymore. Because who reads newspapers anymore? So you can change this, and it will track the stats automatically through the season. And Mel Allen will even say, batting, blah, 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 whatever. So.
Grounded, and the throw to first. He beats it out. That's a base hit for Thompson. Now that brings up Wes Westrom. He's nothing for 3 with 2 strikeouts. There's a high pop-up to the shortstop. And he makes the catch. That's 1 down. Now coming up, Willie Mays. He's nothing for 3 today. A high fly ball going out to center field. And he makes the catch. 2 down. Coming up to bat, Dusty Rhodes. He's 1 for 3 with 1 run scored and with a double. The runner goes. There's a hot smash to center field. Base hit for Rhodes. Up next, Don Mueller. He's had a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and with a stolen base. He comes to the stretch. Here comes the pitch to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That'll do it for the visitors in the seventh. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Hitting now into the bottom of the 7th inning. And now starting off the inning is Mike Shannon. He's nothing for 2 today. He delivers a line drive to left field. A diving catch by the first out of the inning. That brings up Kurt Flood. He's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in and with a homer. And he lays down a bunt right down the third baseline. And the throw to first. Got him. And now 2 outs. That brings up Tim McGreevy. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Here comes the pitch. Fly ball to center field. And he makes the catch. That'll do it for the home team in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Top of the 8th. Leading off, the shortstop. He's nothing for 3 with 1 run scored. He comes to the plate. There's a high pop-up to the shortstop. Caught by Wicker. That's 1 down. Now coming up, the first baseman. He's nothing for 3 in this game. A high fly ball going out to left field. And he drops it. That's a base hit.
Hey, Nathaniel, welcome in.
Davey Williams. He's 2 for 3 with a single and with a homer.
Good to see you, my friend.
Grounded up the middle for a base hit. It's a bouncer right through the infield. A single for Williams. Hitting for the pitcher, the right-hander, hitting 91. He comes to the stretch. Called strike 3. Out number 2. That's the pitcher's 5th K today. Next batter, Hank Thompson. He's 1 for 3 with a walk and with a single. The runner goes. Grounded to third. Through the hole on the left side. The throw to second base, and he drops it. Base hit for Thompson. 1 run scores. 5-2. That brings up Wes Westrom. He's nothing for 4 with 2 strikeouts. For ball 4. Next batter, Willie Mays. He's nothing for 4 in this game. A looping drive to left field. Here comes the throw to the plate. Hey, he's safe. Base hit for Mays. 2 runs scored. The score is 7-2.
Giants running away with it.
Dusty Rhodes. He's 2 for 4 with a single and with a double. Now coming up, Don Mueller. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles and with a stolen base. He comes to the stretch. There's a high pop-up near the third base dugout. Caught by McGreevy. That ends the inning. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and they leave them loaded. After 7.5 innings of play, the score is 7-2. And now starting off the inning is the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and with a single.
So another thing that you could do in this game if you played this and you were managing the game, you could also choose what pitch the pitcher's going to throw and whether you want your hitter to swing for contact, for power, or whatever. So if you've ever played Earl Weaver baseball, very similar to that kind of approach. I'll let you know after, Nathaniel.
A liner to the shortstop, and the throw to first. Got him.
Hey,
One
Bernie.
out now batting the pitcher, batting .286.
Bernie, I'm on staycation, so until next Tuesday. So I'm going to try to find you tomorrow on Facebook. All right? I've been off all week, but I've been doing a lot of animation work and stuff like that, so I haven't had much time. That's why I haven't been doing so much baseball. Good to see you, Bernie. I'm shouting over Mel here in the crowd.
Fly ball to center field. Caught by Mays. Out number 2.
Greatest center fielder ever.
Coming up next is
Dwayne
Lou
Marks isn't
Brock.
in here.
He's 1 for 3 with a single. A liner to third, and he makes the catch. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Heading to the ninth, the score is 7-2.
Thanks, everybody,
Leading
for
off
hanging
the
in.
inning, the shortstop. He's nothing for 4 with 1 run scored.
Really appreciate it.
Here comes the pitch. There's a high pop-up near the third base dugout. And he makes the catch. That's 1 down. Next batter, the first baseman. He's 1 for 4 with 1 run scored and with a single. A high chopper pushed up the first base line. He takes it to the bag himself. Out number 2. Coming up next is Davey Williams. He's had a good day at the plate. He's 3 for 4 with 2 singles and with a homer. A hot grounder through the hole on the left side. A single for Williams. That brings up the pitcher.
So another thing you can do in this game, and again, I'm butting in a lot, but just to let you know how much there is. I'm, again, barely scratching the proverbial iceberg here. You can change the angles in this game, so you could, to get a real sense of what an amazing job with the cooperation of Osborne Associates that they did with the 16 ballparks included in this. You can change the view from the batter's view. You get this incredible, it's a really great looking kind of panorama then of the ballpark from the batter's perspective. The only thing I wish they would have done, but again, it doesn't bother me too much. Again, you have the modern uniforms. These would look very weird if you were playing a 1910 game, let's say. But you kind of get past that really quickly. But if you notice when it's out on the field, then it's kind of hard to tell, right? Then the uniforms don't mean so much. The other thing I would say is if you're playing this game and you decide you want to play the 1975 season, the Reds are still going to be in Crosley Field, and the Pirates are still going to be at Forbes Field. So unless you want to get, if you're really good at using things like Damon tools and stuff like that, and integrate it in with DOSBox to, and I'm not really sure how easy that would be to do. You could import the stadiums into this baseball game, but I would say just suspend disbelief and let the Pirates go ahead and play in Forbes. And I don't know. I think they put the Mets in. I think they put them in the Polo Grounds. So Shea wasn't built. I don't think. What year was Shea built? So I think they did play in the Polo Grounds for a year. So just a few things to think about. But you know what? It's still an awesome game. And it's free. In a day or
delivers. Fly ball to center field. And he makes the catch. That retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Going to the home half of the ninth, the score is 7-2. And now starting off the inning is Lloyd Wicker. He's 0 for 1 today. A line drive to center field, and he drops it. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. Now batting, Roger Maris. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout and with a single. Here comes the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. Base hit for Maris. Now batting, Joe Hayes, hitting .235. Grounded to first. The throw to second base. A 3-6-3 double play. 2 down. Now that brings up Mike Shannon. He's 0 for 3 today. Strike 3. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 9 complete, the score is 7-2. And the ball game is over. And that's the ball game. This is Mel Allen saying, so long, everybody. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
So there you go, guys. Playing through a game of old-time baseball. So much you can do in this game. So even for post-game here, if we go to, well, let's click done here first. So there we go. We see our line score, everything like that. Then we can look at, so for New York, right, we can look at batters. There's the pitchers, everything like that. Pretty nice. And then we can just save the game and do whatever and be done with it. Has a pretty good help file on it. Let's go back to, let's jump out of here and wait for it to go back to what it's supposed to be doing here. Give it a minute. Now we're back at the beginning. All right, so there is a help file on this. And you can see this is pretty extensive. Pretty extensive. So if you click on any of those, go down to pinch hitter help, whatever, you have to scroll back up, but it will show you. So like a lot of the things that I've been talking about, okay, there's you can watch a team in this game in a season replay. You can do positioning, of course, double switch. Yeah, we who are dyed in the wool purists, we love the double switch. This will walk you through how to do drafts, how to build playoffs, starting new seasons, schedules, all that good stuff. It's all in here. And then again, you can I wouldn't worry about the importing stadiums and stuff like that. But you can, like as I said, you can create new teams. This will do trades. You can set up your own rotations, batting order, save those things. Yeah, this game is a great one. It is a great one. And as Derek wisely mentioned, that baseball time machine there was nothing like it. Just nothing like it. I will have to jump into full count baseball and see if that was the first game to actually do that. I can't remember. I'm waiting for Jason Leonard. Apparently, there's going to be an update, big update for this summer. So I'm kind of holding off playing any full count baseball. All right, let's jump out of here, and I'm going to show you. There's a website where you can buy this game, but if you guys want to wait for a couple days or a day or two till I can get the permissions and get somebody to test it for me and make sure everything's working, we can do that as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get out of this, back to the main menu. If you guys have any questions, I'll wait for a minute in chat before I close out of this. And I do want to mention really quickly again about something I mentioned last night, and I'm going to have him on, hopefully, to talk about it this week. And is the there's a new all-time greats franchise file freely available in the McGreevy Discord by a Blue Rose Case, member of our family here. It's really cool. So definitely check that out. And that will be under the Action PC Baseball part of the Ned McGreevy Discord. So I talked about the stadium histories. Don't want anybody to get seasick. So I'm not going to do this part because I will too. But these are the parks that come with it. So Seal Stadium, I think it's really cool that was included, but there's Shibe Sportsman's Briggs. It also you can kind of see, put in the LA Coliseum. I probably would have picked like something else. Like, let me see. Like I would have put Baker Bowl in there, I think, instead, but that's just me. But it's a great game. So let's select a stadium. Let's look at Ebbets Field, one of my favorite parks. Now, if you click on View Stadium, modern systems you won't be able to do it. It's just going to zip around the stadium, and it's going to make you want to reach for the Dramamine. But you get a really, really, really nice history of each of the ballparks, which is really, really cool. And then you can just get a close-up. So there's that great facade. If you went in there, of course, the chandeliers were bats, and were bats. They held the lights, and then the lights themselves were baseballs. So just kind of a way to really learn about these wonderful ballparks. And then just pick another stadium. Of course, I have to. There we go, Forbes Field. This one doesn't say in here, but this is also known as Dreyfus Folly. This is the second modern baseball park. Shibe was the first one, beat Forbes by 2 months. So they both opened in the same year, 1909. And no hitter was ever thrown in this ballpark, and its long history. So, but for its time, there you go. Isn't that cool? That is so super cool. So, I love this game. And then Michael Gershman. If you're an inveterate reader of baseball books, you know Michael Gershman. This guy's such a great baseball writer. So definitely, they really went all out on this game, and something again that started life as an expansion to Tony La Russa baseball, and it became its own ball game. Sort of modern retro look, which is kind of vogue anyhow, and stuff like that. All right, let's go ahead and exit out. And you'll see a billion icons in the desk here in a minute. So to cover up such sins, I'm going to bring up Action PC Baseball. We're not going to play a game. Don't get alarmed. Relax. I don't want to put you guys through that. I do want to show you this thing. So I always thought, Nathaniel, that you were in our Ned McGreevy Discord. So for some bizarre reason, my invite link never works. So I've got to, again, ask John DFW to give me one that works, because every time I send an invite, people don't seem to be able to get on the Discord. But it might be because I'm using the web version of Discord. I don't know, because I don't use the Discord app. I use just in the web. So maybe it does work, and just don't use the Discord app. You know how it spins and spins and spins. Choose the web version. All right, so Blue Rose Case created this. This is an all-time greats franchise league, and he had mentioned to me in the Discord that this was similar to a thing that I've been doing in APA PC Baseball, in which some of these older franchises that relocated or whatever have their own teams, and this is like that. So the Brooklyn Dodgers and LA Dodgers have their own teams. St. Louis Browns, Baltimore Orioles, and so on and so forth. Boston Braves, Atlanta Braves, Oakland A's, Philadelphia A's, things like that. Okay, so use the web version only. Yeah. So if you're in there, just go and grab yourself Pure Sim and Strategy Baseball. And as soon as I can figure out the Google Drive permissions, I don't know why it's being weird, you'll be able to get Old Time Baseball. But before we go, I'll show you guys a website where you can also, if you want to just pick it up, and about 3,000 other games that are ready to play, you can. This is really nice. I should say there are doppelgangers in here. Blue Rose Case, but I have him on to talk about it and sort of about his criteria for these. This is like, so unlike, say, something like the Baseball History Collection, each player, it's his best season with that franchise. So Rogers Hornsby is going to both be on the Cardinals and the Cubs. I believe the same is going to be for Kyler. I was looking through a bunch of these. So you will see that. In fact, let's check Kyler right now while we're talking. Give you guys a chance to kind of look at these rosters here for a minute. Anyhow, yep. So there's Kyler as a Cub, and there's Bill Madlock also as a Cub, and they were both also Pirates. So we check the Pittsburgh Pirates here real quick. And there's Kyler. And where's Madlock? Where is he? Maybe he didn't make it onto here. Nope, he didn't. So some of the players, and I also, he said that Lloyd Wayner was a hard one for him to leave off of here. I'm going to be drafting Lloyd Wayner onto this Pirates team and going to go through and stuff like that. So if you don't mind doppelgangers, and that's not a knock on this, you certainly, could just make some players ineligible or play with doppelgangers, because Barry Bonds with the Pirates is different than Barry Bonds with the Giants, and Barry Bonds is on both of the teams in here. But he put a lot of work into this, obviously. So, check it out. I mean, to just make this available to the community, I think is super, super cool of them. And this is better, I've got to say, than the all-time greats franchise thing that comes with Owl Park Baseball. And I tell people, don't play that. There are better ones out there, including the one I use that I tweaked up and everything. But I didn't originally create it, but it's better. Because the Pirate one, like just the one that comes with Owl Park Baseball, just really is not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's not worth your time. Just there's another one you can get that's better. So this was done by Blue Rose Case. So order base, you did. There we go. That deserves a marquee comment there. All right. So you got the download version, Nathaniel, and did you get it yet? I know John's usually pretty fast at that. All right. And you said you didn't know who Sixto Lezcano was. Wow. So you'll learn. You will learn. All right. Well, good. Hit me up on Discord, Nathaniel. So you have to wait. Okay. When you get it and all that, let me know. So there we go. And then some of these franchises, of course, like Texas, not a lot of movement there. So, Frank Howard. So Frank Howard, you're going to see him on a couple teams. But I think this is fine. Look, you're going to have A-Rod in a few teams. But I think it would be just great to play, or, just the way Action PC Baseball works. You want to pull out some of these teams and put them elsewhere. You want to just create playoffs out of these teams. That's a lot of fun also, if you want. And doing playoffs in this game is, it's pretty nice, right? You hit playoff game, and right, then you just start setting up your seedings and stuff. So, have at it, man. Have at it. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. My name is the same as it is on here. Beatles Eternally. I am he. All right, last thing, and then we're out of here. Thank you, guys. We topped out at a pretty nice number here tonight, and I really appreciate that. Old Dash Games, is it? Yeah. think it is. Dashgames.com. I think this is the right one. Yeah, it is. All right, so again, I'm going to make this game, or Old Time Baseball, freely available. However, this is for $11.95. You could just go absolutely just crazy on here, downloading games for a month. So there's going to be games. I mean, going back to the Commodore 64 or whatever. And again, I have never ever had an issue with this guy. I think he's in Belgium. I think he's from Belgium. I'm not sure. Anyhow, look at this. Games like Micro League Soccer. I mean, when was the last time you saw that, right? For you footy fans out there. So if you type in baseball, oh, there's a baseball game right there. So Aaron versus Ruth. Now, I will tell you, for those of you who don't feel comfortable with DOSBox, if you go to a game and it just says download, you're going to have to configure it for DOSBox. Okay. So instead, what would be better is, let's say we let's just type in baseball, and I'll show you the games that you really, really want to look for. Okay. So there's our friend, Old Time Baseball. There it is. Okay. When you see easy setup, that's the one that you want, because this is already DOSBox pre-configured. Now, you could download this game for free on here, but because you are paying, you're helping this guy out with his own server, I think it's worth the $11 for the amount of games that you can get on here. It's just incredible. This is what, 11,908 games on here. But there's Old Time Baseball. It's the game you just saw. There's a bunch of other ones here. So there's Tony La Russa Baseball, easy setup. So there's both games, version 3 and the 1996 edition. So there they are. And I will say that for some bizarre reason, and I don't know why this is, because Old Time Baseball was kind of an expansion to these games and became some product. These games, the Tony La Russa games, especially 96, run super, super smooth. No jank in the animation. You could play that as an arcade game if you wanted to. That said, some of the other stuff that's on here is there's Hardball. There's Hardball 5 Enhanced. And again, so just look for the easy setup for these games. But I will, by the next time of the broadcast, I'll let you guys know that I'll have Old Time Baseball all ready to go for you to download. Yeah. What else is on here? There's and this isn't even like an exhaustive list, but like you guys remember High Heat. So there's High Heat Major League Baseball. Now, I will say this, for games like this, newer games that you'd have to configure, these aren't as hard to configure for DOSBox. So it's when you get into the older stuff that you got to be careful. But DOSBox is not hard to configure. And in fact, there's some great front ends for like Defend and stuff like that will do a lot of the stuff automatically for you, like setting up extended and expanded memory, and what were those called? IR or something interrupts or whatever the hell they were. That weird DOS environment that was back in the day. Worth $11? Yeah. Oh my God, it is. Yep. You think the server's down? Let me see if the Discord server is down. Shouldn't be. I've never. Well, anything's possible, I guess. But let me see, man. Can't let Nathaniel out there. Nathaniel, I always thought you were on there, brother. Yeah. All right. So you're Advocate 8, right? Okay. So you're Advocate 8, but without the exclamation point, because I'll go looking for the app and I won't find you. I guess that's pretty much it. There's a game I never played, Microsoft Baseball 2001. Does not have an easy setup, but should be okay. So that's all, guys. That is all from the old ball orchard tonight. But do pick this up. I think this is really cool. Okay, with an exclamation point. Thank you for. I'll look for you. And that's it. Derek, I don't even know if you're still here now or not, but hopefully we can get you on again for a more focused discussion, as we talked about before, where we're not going to make it an open mic like we did that night, but rather you can get into some deeper, whatever deep subjects you want to. Derek is, again, just, well, we're just going to show his site while he's here. I like to show off what people do, man. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So give me a sec here. I'll bring you over. And once again, I know you guys have seen me showing this site before, but I'm allowed. I got permission from me mum. There we go. So this is Derek Bain's site, Hardball Retro. And good God, there's way too much to go through here. So trivia videos. He has his own YouTube channel, by the way, too, but he teaches you so many cool things, drafting with all of these classic games and games that are still around now, like Diamond Mine, things like that. His books are, I think, essential, whether you're a baseball historian or student history of the game, I should say, as well as, a baseball sim gamer. It's all good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Aaron Reed's letting us know he's going to be resuming his 1966 World Series today around noon. So do check that out. So thank you to Aaron Reed, to Nathaniel Advocate 8 Nate coming in and hanging out with us. Bernie Strom, I'll reach out to you on Facebook tomorrow, I suppose. Probably be better. I don't know what time it is. You're out there in the left coast, so it's 10:19. Bernie probably sleeping because he gets up early in the morning. Derek Bain, thanks, buddy. H Field 7, Curbside Pickup, hung around and asked about Stan Musial. Thanks for coming in, man. H Field 07. Chris Slovic back in the United States for the summer and is starting a new job in Cambodia. Sean, thank you for coming in. And did I get everybody? Did I say Corey Highfield? I'll say Corey's name again. So, all right. And Corey was the first one in the ballpark tonight. All right, guys. Don't forget to check out Aaron's 1966 World Series. Check out all the cool people here that create content. Legend Sports Universe, RGO Network, our Red Sox fan, Sports Flicks. So many to mention. Check them all out. All good stuff. Till the next time, see you around the batting cage, and I will let everybody know who's in the Discord when the file will actually be working, and I'll let everybody know in the next broadcast when it's working. All right? All right. Good night, everybody.